Donk Nation, Jax and Janet's greetings and welcome to your Daily Dose of Donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you some nonsensical Steelers talk. Off season's full tilt into what you would call training camp preseason. We're still going to keep it with the nonsensical moniker until the preseason starts, but we're going to try to make things make a little sense this time. Not a whole lot talking about players report, no one really doing anything crazy. We already talked about the TJ Watt contract. We could talk about the Steelers picking up another Raven cast-off who played last year with the Jets, a guy who also doesn't cause any turnovers, but just a depth piece at safety at this point, and a guy like Chuck Clark, who the Steelers brought in. Not the name I'm most excited about hearing see come here, but really not much of anything. They needed to add at least some depth piece, and it seems like this is a very Tomlin type of guy, so not a whole lot going on there. I think it was Dominique Davis got released to make room for him. A whole lot of nothing defensive linemen that didn't have a chance at breaking this roster with how deep they are at the mid-tier defensive end tackles type of spot, so not a whole lot to talk about there, and really not a whole lot to talk about outside of maybe a couple ramblings that might make you a little concerned, and just a question of whether or not people should put any onus into training camp is the way I look at it. And I really, really don't think you should. Like, a player who maybe stands out because, wow, their athleticism's off the chart is something to talk about sometimes, but no one's really going to make a roster in training camp, right? You still have to go to preseason. You still have to prove stuff. Normally, training camp is only for those who end up losing roster spots, guys who look really out of shape, guys who don't understand the playbook, guys who get injured type of thing. And luckily for the Steelers, so far through camp, no big injuries to talk about. Jeremiah Moon, I guess, is the only one of note leaving practice with a calf injury, but it didn't seem like they thought it was too serious there. I don't think we've seen any of Cordero Patterson or Jonnu Smith yet, but, just the typical, hey, guys are a little hurt before coming in. I think Cordero was kind of similar last year when we had him. And to be honest, when I saw him poke up as one of the people not practicing, I was like, man, I forgot this dude was even on the team. As you could tell, you know, my view on camp very lackadaisical. Do I care that Patrick Queen intercepted Aaron Rodgers' first pass? No. Do I care that Aaron Rodgers now is looking better in playing football in shorts? No. Do I care that Broderick Jones looks absolutely terrible, as they're saying? No. I want to see him on the field. I want to see him in game action. I want to see him go against a setup where the other person doesn't know exactly what they're going to do, where the script isn't known, where they're not playing scripted things. People who read into training camp is silly to me because they'll run a certain defense because they want to see the way their offense works against it, and can their offense work against it, right? So, and vice versa. So, not much to be taken out of training camp practices. After all, that's what they are, practices. You can see what players are doing. You can maybe see what teams are trying to do against certain defenses if you were able to scout these, because they're running, they're like, oh, we want to see defense play that to see if we can do this type of deal. So, a little bit there, but not a whole lot to go on, and not a whole lot to be concerned about. Like I said, the bigger thing is trying to stay injury free, wondering if this roster is complete, seeing if people get added, who gets sent off. All those type of things are what you want to see in the preseason going on, or excuse me, not preseason, training camp, not even preseason. And see where this team is going. Listen to the coaches, see what they want to see who they want to put where, what they're looking for. And that leads me to probably what my only concern of the day is. And my only concern is that Mike Tomlin talked about he doesn't care what the situation or what the other team is doing. He's going to find a way to have Joey Porter Jr., Darius Slay, and Jalen Ramsey on the field at the same time. And to me, that's scary because that's the Steelers in the same mindset that's got them in so much trouble the last few years. The we don't care what the opponent's doing, we're going to do what we do type of thing. And it doesn't work. You have to game plan to exploit the weaknesses of your opponent. You can't just be saying we're going to throw these guys out there no matter what. And I understand you'd be like, oh, he was just saying that for face, but that's not how Mike Tomlin does it. And that to me is probably the biggest area of concern for me right now. Just the way Mike Tomlin's talking very much as if these last few 10-ish years of non-success in the secondary part of the season, the postseason, the part of Steelers fans that we pride ourselves on, is not being taken seriously. And that is of some concern, I guess. But outside of that, really nothing to talk about. No real news going on anywhere else that I saw, other than Cincinnati's rookie defensive end decided to sign his contract. I don't know if they changed the verbiage to make him happy or if he just decided, you know what, I need to take the contract because no matter what, I'm going to be a right of the Cincinnati Bengals for 2 years. I need to just take this contract and go. No idea how it actually worked out. Not really caring. Just thought I'd put that out there since, we do want to talk about AFC North stuff more so than any other division out there. So, with that being said, not a whole heck of a lot else going on at this time. If there's anything you'd like to hear us talk about, hopefully we get Gingy back. Maybe we'll get Laskers in for a little bit before the season. Let us know. We'll try to do our best to get into it, but we'll keep you updated with injuries mostly, some news going on, and maybe some tidbits of what we're hearing around the place or some packages that we're seeing the Steelers do that they've never done before, or if someone's hyping up some big-time players that we didn't expect to hear his name mentioned in these circles. So, guess it's time. Got to do a shout-out. Of course, this was Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame week. The Pittsburgh Pirates had Dave Parker inducted. I know I've already shouted him out right after the Cobra died, but watching the Cobra get inducted to the Hall of Fame, pretty special thing. The Pirates go out and Paul Skeens does Paul Skeens things today, giving up no runs whatsoever. O'Neill Cruz just zooms around the bases from the north side. Notch throws a ball all the way to third base in the air doing O'Neill Cruz things. Those two guys with superstar potential, one already living up to it, one hopefully developing into it. We'll give a shout out to the Pirates on this day, Dave Parker goes to the Hall of Fame. They go out, they dominate with their, close imitation to a Dave Parker type of guy. O'Neill Cruz out there showing off the defense, showing off the speed, showing off the bat power today. It really felt like the Pirates did a good job of showing homage to a great player at a time where he got inducted. And if you got to watch the induction speech, without a doubt, Dave Parker's kid looks exactly like him. The resemblance was crazy. So it was almost like having him there able to give his own speech, which was kind of a really cool thing. Now, I gotta let you know, I'm the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey. And Twitch and Twitter, your daily dose of Donkey Gingers, where you get this awesome content. If there's actual stuff to talk about next week, episodes will be longer. Otherwise, we'll keep them short and sweet until we get to some actual preseason football, get to break down some plays, get to break down some players, and get to look forward to some matchups. So, Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, love y'all. Wave them if you got them. Let's go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.